So this is going to be a long form video about what's in my tool bag. What do I use on a daily basis to help me get parts off of all of our cars? First and foremost, my long cutters from Harbor Freight. Those come in handy way more often than I would have expected. Next is pretty much a ratcheting ratchet. It's power. Anybody who's never heard of one of those and you work on cars, you definitely need one. Doesn't matter if it's a cheap one or a Milwaukee or one of the higher end. They do save you a lot of time. Screwdrivers. I have several Phillips. I don't know why. I guess I just collected them. I have one big flathead which helps pry stuff, and then I actually have this one which I filed down to help cut rivets off and get behind certain face plates. I use a 3/8 inch ratchet. I don't really care about the brand. I just found this one in a car, which leads me to I use 3/8 inch sockets. I use from 7mm all the way up to 15, and if I need anything else bigger, I have my 1/2 inch. I also carry from T15 all the way up to T50 these star bits on a 3/8. These rails come in handy as well, so I don't have to dig through my bag so much. Every good tool bag should always come with some extensions: 12 inch, 6 inch, 3 inch. Specialty wise, I do have a swiveling 13mm for doors, stuff like that. The door jambs get kind of tight sometimes, so you need something that's a little bit more flexible. I have a regular swivel attachment, or whatever you want to call that. Comes in handy. Specifically, I just carry a T30 with the handle on it, also from Harbor Freight. Sometimes the Traverses and Equinoxes, the door panels, you need to get really deep into the spot, and these just don't do it because they're too short. Next up is ratcheting ratchets. You definitely need these. Tight quarters, tight spots. You don't want to sit there and have to keep taking the wrench off of every bolt and nut to turn it. These come in handy. They're all different brands. I have a Pittsburgh, a Husky, a Blackhawk, a Duralast, and another Husky. They come in handy very, very much. I got a 10mm deep socket, and I also carry the rest of the set, but I leave this in the truck because there's no point in carrying all these around. I really only use the 10, 12, and 13. Occasionally, I will use a 15. I did a Hydro Booster earlier on a Chevy van that required a 15 deep. The good old 1/2 inch to 3/8 inch adapter, so I can use the Milwaukee Impact when this doesn't cut it. Gotta have a pick of some sort. I used to keep the whole set in my bag, but it didn't really do me any justice because the other three just don't work the way I need them to, I guess. So I use this one to get like the wires when I pull doors and stuff, clips, stuff like that. I've been thinking about getting a pair of like wire clip pliers as well. So next is like the miscellaneous little pocket over here. It's got random stuff in it. Let's see. We got two Phillips 3/8. I rarely use these, but when I do, they're in the bag ready to go. We have 5/16 little wrench. The Ford Fusions have two bolts on the side up by the like the wiper cowl. It's a 5/16 bolt, and it's really hard to get into. You cannot use a socket, so I end up using this quite a lot when I'm pulling the fenders off of earlier model 2000 Ford Fusions. This one, Ford likes to use 7 32nd bolts on a lot of their stuff on the outside, the body panels and stuff, like underneath. 8mm wrench, which I rarely ever use. I just threw it in there because I felt like might as well add it to the collection, right? And a smaller short 7 32nd on a 1/4 inch adapter to a 3/8. So that's pretty much the bag that I use every day. You know, some change in here that I find in cars. And then I use a Hercules Harbor Freight bag. This thing, if I were to give it a review, I would say 10 out of 10 for functionality. I think I've had this bag for probably 6 to 8 months now, and the seams blew out on the bottom, which kind of unfortunate. I did lose a couple wrenches. That's why I have different sets, or different names, if you will. I had to go replace them. The side pockets are holding up pretty well. It's just these front pockets on mine. It blew out completely on the bottom, so I can't put anything on one side. And then on the other side, this still works, but it's starting to blow out there because the wrenches, they rub on the ground, because I pick it up and set it down so much. But that's pretty much what I use as far as my main tool bag. I do have a 1/2 inch bag. I'll go over that in another video. Just figured I would share that.